3. Eric, the Big E Arnold, Captain's Log Supplemental. We're on the road here. We're with Chuck, the Ohio State fan, the Cincinnati Reds fan. Where we road tripping to here this weekend.
We're heading to Cincinnati to see the Reds.
Right, with tens of our best friends.
I think the Flamingo Kid may be coming.
Oh, okay. The Flamingo Kid may be there as well. And then the 3 of us, and there might be another, 18, 19 people there. And, he tells me the whole city of Cincinnati is on fire for the Reds and this playoff push of theirs. And then I watch the games, and I see like 6 people, and I think, well, where are they? Where are these people? So, at any rate, we have at least 2 people that are interested in the Reds playoff push. I'm marginally interested. So that's what we're doing this weekend. You don't care about that. What you care about are winners, and we did not give them to you yesterday. Loser with the Rockies, loser with the Brewers. At least they were underdogs. We didn't get punched in the face by losing like a minus 350 favorite. We've been pretty good about that. It's been a while since we've gotten smoked with a big favorite. So, but I told you people, you got to be careful now because these numbers are getting crazy in baseball with these. Remember, a lot of these teams now are starting to coast as they're heading towards the finish line. White Sox, they've got nothing to play for. The Brewers, they've got nothing to play for. The Astros are rapidly approaching that territory where they know they're going to win the division. So you got to be careful when you're laying those huge numbers. Free tip there. We got 2 picks here in baseball, and then we're going to guess at these college football games. I mean, I saw a lot of picks, heard in the car on the way out here that people are making their picks. Huge card for Saturday and this weekend. Huge card. I thought I can guess at these games. I haven't had a lot of time to research them. So I can guess. So we'll guess. You want to hear? You want action. You need action. I actually think these 2 baseball picks are winners. Really think these 2 are winners. We got the Cubs against the Pirates. The Cubs, I think, have found their feet now. They've won 3 in a row. Kind of maybe getting the bullpen settled, getting roles established after the fire sale. And then the Pirates suck. I mean, you got 2 bad teams right here, but the difference is one of these bad teams has really deep pockets. So if you're on the Cubs, it's like, all right, we're bad now, but we're not going to be bad forever. If you're on the Pirates, you're bad forever until you get traded. So that's your whole goal if you're on the Pirates, is to not be on the Pirates. Thoughts?
I like everybody's heading out of the office early, if they're in an office, going to the Cubs game for a long 4-day weekend, and they're going to be rowdy.
Yeah, I mean,
this is America. This is baseball.
They're going to have 30,000 people at that game, and it is going to be a live crowd. If you've never been to Wrigley in a day game, it should be on your bucket list. If you're any kind of baseball fan at all, that's something you should make sure that you take time out of your life to get to Chicago and see that at least once. It's good. It's a good time. It really is. And the Cubs, they feed off that. They have a good home record. They always have. All right, I made that up. I have no idea if that's true or not.
I think barely above 500 this year.
Yeah, they probably suck. Let's face it. There was a reason this team did not win a World Series for 100 years, and that's because they historically suck. But I don't think that's going to be the case anymore. As Curt Schilling famously said in one of those broadcasts after they finished the renovation out there, he said, they're going to print money out here. And I think they are. And, when you're one of these teams like the Red Sox and the Yankees and the Dodgers, you're never that bad. You know, they sold off and they're at the bottom of their cycle, but the Cubs are going to be good again, probably sooner rather than later. We don't really give a shit about that. We just need to be good, you know, this afternoon at 2 o'clock. You know, for a 4-hour block, we need them to be good. All right, then we get the Mets. The Mets, I'm breaking my rule. We're going with the Mets. I think all this turmoil in New York actually advantages the Mets. The Mets are a backwards team. Up is down, left is right. Bad things are happening. That means good things are happening. They're pissed off at their own fan base. I think that's bringing the team together. That's galvanizing the locker room. What do you think?
Yeah, I think they're one of those teams that likes to be the underdog.
Yeah.
When everybody hates them.
Yeah.
When they're at their best.
Fuck you. Fuck us. No, fuck you. And then, you know, goes on from there. I mean, the Phillies did that in 1980 where they were tired of being booed. They had been, you know, eventually the bloom comes off the rose if you don't win in a town. And that's happening to the Mets. And their own fans are turning on them. Well, now the Mets are kind of huddling together and going, we'll show them. And you Met fans can take pride in that because as you met him, my brother, super Philly fan, he always takes that as he has done his job. He's like, I have shamed you into doing your job. You would not do your job if I didn't relentlessly boo you and call you an asshole. So now I have motivated you to tell me to go fuck myself. So he always takes pride in that. You Met fans can take pride that you're doing that, forcing your team to play better. And they are playing better. And I think they will play better largely because Baez and Lindor, two of the ringleaders of the go fuck yourself movement, are actually on the field to tell the fans to go fuck themselves. They're not in street clothes. The key is they're actually healthy and they're actually playing. So I think the Mets are a play here for the foreseeable future. You're not paying a hateful price here against a terrible national team. The Phillies, who are not that good, just swept these guys. So I think you're catching value here with the Mets. But nobody cares about that, right, Chuck? We want to talk college football.
Let's go.
All right. We split yesterday. 1 win, 1 loss, 1 tie. What do you think of Ohio State? I heard who did we see here this morning? Desmond. Mm-hmm. Desmond Howard was not impressed. He didn't think we looked like a number 4 team. I mean, how would he know? I mean, he watches Michigan. How would he know what a number 4 team in the country looks like?
I don't know what 3 or 4 teams he saw that were better so far.
Yeah, right. I guess UCLA beating maybe
Fresno State,
Hawaii
maybe number 3.
Yeah.
I mean, what does this top 4 look like now? I mean, yeah. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was a push. You know, depending what number you got. I think Minnesota's pretty good. Unfortunately for them, the top running back was in a walking boot there at the end of the game. Ibrahim, mm-hmm. If he's got a calf injury, that could be the season for this guy. You know, in other words, he might be able to be a go by November. But now we're into I want to get ready for the draft, and I don't want to jeopardize my health. So you know, he might tap out and not play again the rest of the season, which sucks because I'd like to see Minnesota beat our competitors. We've beaten these guys. These are now our mercenaries. We want these guys to run through the Big Ten beating everybody else. I don't know what their non-conference schedule looks like. Do they play anybody we hate?
I'm not aware.
Yeah, I don't know. So, anyway, what are the picks here? So today is Friday. We got this big game down there at Blacksburg. Virginia Tech hosting North Carolina. We're interested in this game because my one bookie has a promotion on it. So we're trying hard to get this one right because we got a extra little incentive from the bookie. I like Virginia Tech. I don't love it. It's a guess. I told you, we're guessing here. This is a guess. I have no other, you know, they have a pretty good home crowd down there. They do that Enter the Sandman deal by Metallica. That's always pretty cool. Unfortunately, then that still leaves you 60 minutes where you have to play the other team. But it can't hurt. Let's put it that way. It can't hurt. Any thoughts?
No, that's a weird start time of 6 p.m., but if things stay close at halftime and then starts getting dark and the fans think they have a chance, they get really amped up in there in the second
Well, we
half.
were discussing this now. Is it school by school as far as who sells alcohol at the games? This used to be a hard and fast prohibition. No booze at college football games. This changed at some point. They sell it at Ohio Stadium now. I guess we just don't know the answer to that, if they sell it at Blacksburg or not. It seems like a place they would, but I don't know. So, but yeah, we'll take the points. I think Virginia Tech they lost last year at Chapel Hill in a very high-scoring game to North Carolina. So you got a slight revenge angle there. They're at home now, catching points. I mean, if you're into that angle, and I tell you for a fact it doesn't work, but, you know, some people love that kind of revenge home dog deal, and you got it here. You've got it here. So if you like that, this is it for you. This is Virginia Tech getting their vengeance. Enter the Sandman. Now, some of these games, I just don't understand what they're doing on the card this weekend. Penn State at Wisconsin, noontime, on the first weekend of the season. This is a primetime game if there ever was one. Both of these are top 10 teams, I think. And why in the hell are you playing this game at 11 a.m. local time on the first Saturday of the season? I don't understand this. It doesn't, play it on I don't understand this at all. But here it is. Yeah, I guess.
Fox has to pick a time slot that ESPN or ABC does not have to show primetime game.
Do you think that theory works? I'm inventing something on the fly here. Anytime something happens inexplicably, could that be the answer? Somebody's getting paid off. Huh.
Think about the beer in the stadium.
Yeah, right.
I
was about to do an Afghanistan rant, but I don't think Chuck wants to do that. So I like Penn State. I think a common thread through a lot of these picks that I have, and if I'm wrong, well, then they'll all be wrong. Whatever happened last year doesn't count, doesn't matter, throw it away. Just the pandemic year just didn't count. You just got results that were totally unreliable. Good teams were bad teams were good. So Penn State was bad last year. Just throw it away. That is a premium team. What team gives Ohio State more trouble than anyone? And don't say Alabama.
In the last 10 years, it's been Penn State.
Yeah, that's the team when we see them on the schedule. It's like, son of a bitch. It's like, well, we got to play these guys every year. And it used to be that we had trouble at their place at that godforsaken Happy Valley. And then they come over to Columbus and would kill them. It's not even that way anymore. We have trouble with these guys everywhere. We don't have trouble with Wisconsin. When we play those guys, we whack them. I'm trying to think of the last time we lost to them. I mean, we don't play them every year. Mm-hmm. I mean, I remember one game, and this is going back a ways, where we scalped tickets to get into Ohio Stadium. It was our mutual buddy Jim and I. We sat up. I'm not sure it was Jim and I. Now, I think it might have been the notorious BLP and I think it might have been him. He thinks he's Jerry, but that's another story. I talked about a Jerry in a political rant, and he's afraid he's Jerry. But at any rate, so my buddy and I, and we're 2 decks up behind the Wisconsin band, and we open up 17-0, happy, and then Wisconsin scored 7 straight touchdowns on us. And I have On Wisconsin, I've memorized that song forevermore because the Wisconsin band plays that after every touchdown. So, da 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 da, something like that. That was a nightmare. But that was like 20 years ago. So, that was before, that it? That was in the Cooper era, wasn't it?
I don't know the date on it.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, we kill Wisconsin. So I just think Penn State's better. I think Penn State's better. You're getting 5.5 points. Right there. So, Alabama, Miami.
Just take Alabama. Chalk.
Yeah, right. I mean, like I said, don't say Alabama. Yeah, we can't handle Alabama, therefore nobody can handle Alabama, which I think is basically true. And they generally cover these big numbers, and that's not that big.
Not big of a number.
Less than 3 touchdowns with Alabama? Has Miami suddenly gotten good and we missed it? I don't think they're that good. We got Iowa, Indiana. Normally this would not be a big game at all, except I guess Indiana beat some people last year. They beat Penn State, although they shouldn't have. That was a bad call at the end of that game. But only 4 points. You're laying only 4 points with Iowa. I don't know. I think to me, you just got to take Iowa. Indiana's got to prove it to me. Back to this. Oh, you won in the pandemic year? I don't care. You got to win in a real year. So, you have a difference of opinion?
I have nothing to say on this one.
Well, you can disagree with me.
I like the quarterback. I like the Indiana quarterback. And he got hurt last year. But he lit up Ohio State, which we don't have a defense. But he did light them up. But he got hurt last year. So it's his first game back. So you don't know what you're getting. And it was a pandemic year. I get it. So, I don't know. I think this is a tough game, but it's on you're putting it on the board here, so.
Yeah, well, it's all right. So Chuck disagrees there. Well, that's acceptable because, as you all know, I'm not right all the time, or when you're wrong, 52% of the time. Well, last year didn't count because that was a pandemic year. That didn't count. All right, this is interesting. Louisiana-Lafayette, and Chuck is now aware that they exist. I had to explain that they're, like Appalachian State. They are getting 9.5 points at Texas. Now, if you're like Chuck and you're going, well, why is that interesting? Louisiana-Lafayette won at Iowa State last year. Iowa State then went on to win the regular season Big 12 championship. Texas is technically still in the Big 12, although I guess they would. What do they do now? Do they take down off of their stadium all their, Big 12 signs and paraphernalia? They strip all the patches off their uniforms? Are they allowed to do that? Does the Big 12? How would they treat them when they have games that they're playing? I would just tell the refs, fuck those guys. Anytime there's any kind of marginal call, that definitely, unless they're playing Oklahoma, of course, but I would fuck them over at every opportunity. Of course, this game, I guess they don't really have a fight in this game because Louisiana-Lafayette's a Sun Belt team. But Lafayette is one of those hot, up-and-coming, non-power teams. They have a hot young coach, Billy Napier. Here's how I read this game, and this is why I put Lafayette down as the 9.5 point underdog pick here. Napier's a hot up-and-coming coach. I don't know the first goddamn thing about Louisiana-Lafayette. They're in Louisiana. They may or may not have power. They wouldn't even think about that. I mean, they might not be able to practice this week. I don't know. But Napier could have had any job he wanted this off season, and he came back. Now, I guess you could say, well, he didn't get the offer he wanted. Or his team might be pretty good coming back, and he wouldn't want to come back if he knows, like, he had a really great class and they all graduated. You know, my high school baseball coach, he coached the team 4 years before I got there. He had won the county championship. The only reason he won it was because he had a super class of athletes, just one of these freaks of demographics. He really wasn't a very good coach at all. We sucked because he couldn't coach and we had no talent. So he can coach us up to win. So the only reason he won is because he had talented players. Well, if Napier knows his talented class is going to graduate, he would take another job. He would lose money. He would, like, you know, he's not going to be the hot up-and-coming coach if this guy goes 2-12 this year or 2-10. So I think he came back because he knows he's got a stacked deck and knows his team is going to be good. Texas, they're always overrated. We're back. We're back. They're never back. They're never back. Like I said, Chuck doesn't know where this team is. He thinks it's in the state of Louisiana.
Maybe in Lafayette.
The state of Lafayette, the 51st state. Yeah. So I'm taking Lafayette. Now, this is a huge game. You got to have an opinion about this. I mean, this is at night. You know, I'll tolerate that. You know, as you said, ESPN has all these night slots locked up. So, now what is Clemson doing playing Georgia anyway? Should they not be playing Wisconsin or Penn State? They're our allies. What are they doing playing Georgia? That seems like this alliance thing. It seems like that I don't understand how this works.
It's a neutral site too, right? And they're playing in Charlotte.
Yeah,
an outdoor stadium. They're not playing in.
Well, Charlotte's an hour from Clemson, but then you know Georgia's only 3-4 hour drive from there too. So it should be
a good mix.
I would think a neutral site.
Yeah. No, I like Georgia in this game just because I think it's a good spot. You don't know what Clemson has reloaded with. You don't know yet.
Well, we know their quarterback. We've seen him play. He could not win at Notre Dame, and you know I guess that depends on how you view Notre Dame. If you view them as a laughable team and you failed by beating them, or a really great team and no shame, son, that you lost to them. I kind of view it as the former. So if you were any good, you should have beat that team, and they didn't. So I don't know that. I think it's a big drop-off from Lawrence to a name unpronounceable. I cannot pronounce the quarterback's name. Georgia, to me, they always seem to be pretty close when they play Alabama. They don't get blown out when they play those guys. They hold those games tight. They're there. They're close. And, you know, again, I go back then to the common denominator of Ohio State. We pretty much handled Clemson 2 years in a row with Lawrence, with Etienne. We lost the first matchup with them. I feel confident and comfortable in saying we were the better team. We should have won that game, and the breaks just went against us, and we lost. And then last year, you know, I think that was about your proper outcome. We were, I think we won by 4 touchdowns, but we're easily 2 touchdowns better than them, and ultimately won by 4 touchdowns. So, to me, Clemson, they're just not, they've still got the elite rep, but I don't know that's an elite team anymore. I think they're going to miss Lawrence. Whereas Georgia, you know, we got crushed by Alabama. Georgia is pretty close, I think, to Alabama. Georgia probably would have beaten us too. I don't know. I just think Georgia's better, you know, just based on that. What do they call that? The transitive property or something? If A is better than B, then A must in C or something like that.
I don't know. When in doubt, go with the SEC.
Yeah, I mean,
you're getting points.
Honestly, yeah, probably that's not a bad theory. It's like, you know, you got a SEC playing out of conference and getting points? And getting points? That doesn't happen too often. Well, I guess it happens if you're Mississippi or someone. Let's face it, that conference gets a lot of kudos for the top of the conference. There's some soft underbelly there for some of those teams. All right, more SEC action then late night or mid-late night. What channel is this game on? Fox? Never mind. Don't look it up.
I'm not going to look it up.
LSU at UCLA. Interesting game. You know, UCLA blew out Hawaii in their first game. This will be LSU's opener. I don't believe they played last week. LSU a small favorite at the Rose Bowl, -3. What do you think there, Chuck?
I think there's not going to be anybody at the game, and I think LSU's got to be. Again, you throw out last year. I don't know what happened last year with LSU. I think I would take LSU against UCLA.
Yeah, I can't. This almost feels like a trap. It seems so obvious that we got to be missing something. But LSU wasn't good last year. Who cares? It didn't matter. Plus, I mean, it was. I freely admit that Burrow team from 2019. I think that was the greatest college team I've ever seen. They were just unstoppable. That team, I think, could have beaten anybody, any team in any era. If you're able to recruit like that, then to me, LSU's going to have some talent out there. I just don't think this is a real home game for UCLA. There was no one at that game last week. It looked like Northern Illinois playing Western Michigan on Wednesday night on Maction Wednesday on ESPN. There was no one there. I can't believe that suddenly now this giant hidden mass of UCLA fans is going to like turn out because you beat Hawaii. There aren't that many UCLA fans. I think there'll be more LSU fans there than UCLA fans. So I don't see any kind of home field advantage at all for the Bruins. And to me, this is just a mismatch. UCLA is just not that good. They're not even the best team in the Pac-12. I think they're a middle-of-the-road Pac-12 team. And you're getting a premium team here with LSU. 3 points? I don't know. Maybe this is just a trap. And you know, I clearly, you know, I'm discounting whatever UCLA did last week, winning 55 or whatever the hell it was. Throwing that out. I mean, okay. Well, I know I said Hawaii was pretty good, but now I'm just like telling you, I'm just making shit up.
Making the narrative fit.
Yeah, that's right. That's what we do. That's right. We disregard facts counter to our argument. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Trump won. Trump's the winner. He won the election.
All right, you're breaking your rule for subscriber X. You're going to be over 30 minutes if you don't wrap this up. So let's for his sake,
fuck subscriber X. All right. I can't tell we only have 300 some. We can't afford to lose any. So we love you, subscriber X. So there you have it. That's what we got. I don't know, the college games. I mean, which one do we feel the best about? Which one do you feel the best about if you had to actually put your money on a game?
Oh, I'll be following the Big E on every game except Iowa. But I think the Penn State one interests me the most. I think out of that list there, just because against the Big Ten, I know more about Big Ten than these other leagues, and that's not a whole lot.
Honestly, I kind of think these SEC games are the ones. I mean, I feel really good about Georgia, and I'll stick my head in the crap here with LSU. I mean, go ahead, Chip Kelly. I mean, if you beat LSU, then you are a daisy, but I just don't see it. I don't know. But, yeah, I think that those are the ones I feel pretty good about. Good, great. Hit the like button. I got nothing else for you. We'll see you later. Signing off.